Hey, welcome back to this mini lecture. My name is Dino. This one is on autonomous vehicles. Oh my god, my car is just driving away. What are autonomous vehicles? They are a vehicle capable of sensing its environment and operating without human involvement. So basically, they can drive on their own. And we'll talk about that's a little more complicated, even that definition, than it is here. More specifically, based on the last point, there are different levels of being autonomous. So you're autonomous on a variety of levels, and the levels depend on the level of input of the human driver. And specifically, there are 6 levels. I won't get into them all, and there's a range from 0 all the way to 5. 0 is a fully manual traditional car, and level 5 is a fully autonomous car. As you might imagine, you don't do these things for nothing. There are some definite benefits to autonomous vehicles. Safety. It removes human error from crashes, which can help. Unfortunately, there can be different errors caused by the technology being autonomous, but that's for another video. They improve mobility, safe for seniors or underrepresented communities of people who normally can't drive. Economic and social benefits. There would be lower costs from crashes, presumably being fewer. There's efficiency and convenience. Interconnected cars improve road occupancy if cars are able to connect and communicate with one another. And finally, environmental. Improved road occupancy. From the last point, it reduces fuel consumption. So just if cars can communicate to one another, they use the roads better, they can prevent traffic and just, again, ride the road a little bit more efficiently, hence saving fuel. A classic problem for autonomous vehicles is the trolley problem. This goes back to the old days, back when there were trolleys. And the traditional problem is sort of conceived as this. What should a bystander do when they see an unmanned trolley hurtling down tracks to 5 people who are tied up? Like, what should you do? That's the kind of the traditional problem. The new problem is that you have programmers involved in autonomous vehicles. They're the ones that help to sort of write the code that drives the car. And here, the programmer envisions different driving possibilities. Say if a car is hurtling down a street and about to hit different groups of people, how does it make a choice? And one of the big issues between traditional and new is separation. The humans are still in control of the car in most cases, as you saw from the different levels, but just that the programmer can virtually drive the car. So what is the role of the programmer in driving these cars and making these decisions about who should be safe and who potentially could perish, which is a very complicated issue. One of the biggest issues obviously involved in autonomous vehicles is liability, because unfortunately car crashes are a common occurrence, unfortunately. And this leads to different issues dealing with liability. For specifically, like in the present, car insurance is based largely on the driver, and it's minimally based on the vehicle itself. In the future, some major vehicle manufacturers stated they will assume liability in L3 vehicles. So that's the 3rd level, and I'll sort of spell out what that is. L3, it's where you have environmental detection capabilities, where they can kind of sense where they are in the environment and who's around them, and can make informed decisions for themselves, such as accelerating past a slow-moving vehicle. But they still require some human override. That's why it's not the highest level of autonomous vehicles. The driver must remain alert and ready to take control if the system is unable to execute the task. So again, it's autonomous to a point, and humans can override. Here's another complication. Again, you don't think about this until you kind of go into the research and you think about this more deeply. Intention can be difficult from at least 2 perspectives. Intention 1. How do vehicles determine the intentions of pedestrians and bicyclists? Because these people weave in and out of traffic, pedestrians, bicyclists. How does a vehicle that's moving understand the intentions of a moving pedestrian or moving bicyclist? Like, that's really difficult. And then because normally you can kind of communicate with the vehicle, and that goes to intention 2. And this is where the people determine the intentions of vehicles. Say if you're at an intersection, if you're a person, a pedestrian or a bicyclist, you can kind of do like a little bit of a check, look at the driver, see, like, and sort of maybe wave your head and say, hey, I'm going across, and they'll sort of nod up and down going, yeah, I acknowledge you can go across and you'll be safe. One of the ideas for a way to make this a little bit better for autonomous vehicles is put LED signs on vehicles to sort of show different states that the vehicle itself is thinking about as it's driving down the street, to give the bicyclist or pedestrian ideas about what the car itself, the autonomous vehicle, is doing. Privacy is another issue. As we said before, interconnectivity includes interconnected cars cause privacy problems because there's data moving back and forth between cars and presumably the city, municipality, province, or the state where the cars are, like the highways are going on. There are a variety of different potential data sources. The routes taken by the driver, voice recording within the car, video recording within or outside the car, media preferences consumed in the car if you're, listening to the radio or watching TV as you're not driving, or various different behavioral patterns are going on by the people in the cars. That was autonomous vehicles. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't. Please feel free to like the video. Please feel free to leave comments. For example, do you like autonomous vehicles? What do you think they're going to be doing in terms of preserving or potentially causing maybe more harm to human life? What do you think about the ideas of fuel efficiency, traffic being decreased? What do you think of another issue like truckers and drivers, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, and the idea that those really big professions might be compromised by autonomous vehicles? As always, thanks for watching. Take care.